Anything there?
No, well, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. I mean, obviously, your toes are moving minutely.
Yeah.
You shift the balance all the time.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like you're doing qigong. Your toes shouldn't be gripping the ground.
Right.
It should just be flat. Your foot's just flat.
So, almost like that. The hand is...
Yeah, it's just like the hand. Just seeing this, just like as if your hand's like that and you put it on the ground.
Right.
So it's not gripping the ground, but by the same token, it's not flat on the ground like that. It's a little bit concave. And then you can just pick your foot up.
Right.
Just do things with it. And that's what we're aiming to do by doing this exercise, is to be able to simply move everything from your centre, rather than that was just a foot movement. See, that's just a foot movement kicking out. If you move it from the centre, and you not only get your post, you get this energy coming up so you can continue, and also you're getting that internal balance and you move it from the centre. So in moving from the centre, you're actually doing the techniques correctly, rather than just looking like you're doing the techniques correctly. It's exactly the same as doing the Tai. Everything gets back to your Tai Chi form, rather than me just doing and looking as if I'm doing the Tai Chi form correctly now. That looks good, but it's not correct. That's just physical movement. And there's going to be a time when you're, of course, in the Tai Chi form where you have to stand on one leg. And if you're coming up like this, and you haven't got that post, you'll be off balance. You want to be able to pick your foot up, do the kicks, spin around, or do whatever you want without having to rebalance yourself. And once you get that, then you know you're doing Tai Chi correctly from your centre. But it takes a bit. You can't do it straight away. You don't get discouraged because, oh, geez, I'm a bit off balance here. Don't get discouraged because you do get off balance. It's a lot harder to get everything working from the centre than it is working physically. And that's why the Chinese gave us all the wrong stuff back in the early this century. They simply gave us all the wrong stuff so we get the wrong idea about these things. They gave us a purely physical thing to do so that the outsiders wouldn't get the good oil. Whereas the old masters practiced something that was totally different from what they gave us. Well, not us. We weren't even interested in it back then. But the outsiders, I mean the Japanese, the Manchurians, and the outsiders, even Chinese, Mongolians, the outside people who were outside of the families, who did the style. They didn't want them to get the family jewels. And so they simply had this meeting and they changed everything so that what they gave us from then on was a purely physical form. But what they didn't count on was the fact that everyone took to it like the proverbial ducks to water, and even the Chinese then forgot what the original was. Only just small family pockets still kept the original internal styles, whereas everything everyone else got was this purely physical form of doing